What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. Everyone, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. We are on our way to 4,700. Let's hit 5,000 before the end of training camp. And boy, oh boy, it's starting to pick up. We got a ton of news we're going to go over today. If we have enough time, I will open it up to viewers. If not, we'll see if we get something going tomorrow. But Martin, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Pretty good, Reason. Appreciate you for having me on. Fins up, everybody.
Shout out to the homie Dylan for becoming a new member, man. I appreciate you. Again, if you want to become a member, you get certain little like loyalty rewards. You get a badge next to your name, you get access to the emojis, and whenever NFL Game Pass is back up, you will be the first to get my NFL film study of Raekwon Davis's rookie season. Just waiting for Game Pass to come back up, and hopefully before he's traded, I can go over all of Xavien Howard's interceptions this year for us. But I know some people will not want that, so yeah, man, bro, pads don't come on till next Tuesday, but camp was rocking and roaring today, bro. So, I mean, we got a lot to go over. We'll start off with a bunch of X news because there was a ton of it to start the day. And then we'll head into the training camp updates. We'll have your updates from the Palm Beach Post, Miami Herald. Some of those are behind paywalls. We'll also give you the update from the Sun Sentinel, and we'll actually provide some footage that I have multiple different pieces of footage from today's practice we'll go over and we'll take a look at, including the Tua to Albert Wilson connection that I've been trying to warn everybody about. It's already popping off, bro.
Right.
So,
bro. By the way,
wherever you are, I'm about to win that bet, so you better be ready for that one.
I was about to say, you even kind of warned, remember the Omar Kelly interview? You kind of warned Omar, like, hey, man, I've been hearing some things about Albert, and he kind of brushed it off like, Albert. But even early on, it's kind of showing like Tua has a real connection with that guy, right? Like it's like genuine.
And from those that are in attendance, Albert Wilson absolutely destroyed the safety. Like if you saw, we talked about this before live. The fact of the matter is Albert Wilson did have to gear down a little bit to make the catch. Like it wasn't perfectly in stride over his shoulder, run into it, right? He did have to gear down a little bit, but apparently people in attendance said he absolutely blew by the safety, like it was over.
Oh wow, hell of a route,
bro. I'm telling you, bro. Omar gave me that side eye when I said he's one of the best route runners on this team, bro. Omar.
But Omar's there, so I mean he has somewhat a kind of
RIP
a lens, but
Omar's Twitter, bro, because people are just blowing him up. Jeez,
they're going after him, man.
Oh my god,
fires, torches.
Dude, you know what's crazy, bro? You go back and do the history on YouTube. I'm one of the biggest Tua supporters ever. I was the one that started the Tua train on YouTube, and even I don't go to war for him like some of these people do, bro. It's crazy.
Nah, I mean, honestly, bro, Tua has a legitimate cult following that,
bro.
Everything about the Dolphins mean little to nothing. Everything is about Tua's success because
it was still a good pass. You know what I mean? Like people are acting like Omar said it was a bad pass. All he basically said was that it was behind a little bit behind Albert Wilson, so he had to gear down. That's all he's saying. He's not saying, "Oh, terrible throw." Like
I was about to say that was a hell of a throw, bro.
Yeah,
you ask me,
bro. The people that are out there on Twitter right now trying to tell people that ball was a duck, they're the idiots. Those are the ones you should be attacking. Okay,
I agree. That was a hell of a throw, bro.
Sorry, Clump. I still love you. Ennis Campbell, not the underthrow. And then shout out to A Turner 8332. He's a new member, man. Appreciate you for joining. All right, so let's get into all this stuff.
Yes, sir.
Let's start off with, because you actually weren't able to come up yesterday and give your thoughts on Xavien Howard. Okay, before we get into this, everyone's heard my thoughts. Everyone's heard ball game, clumps, EMs. What are your thoughts on the statement Xavien Howard made yesterday?
I believe that Xavien Howard believes everything that he said in that statement, and what I mean by that is, um, there's a reality to. I was an All Pro in 2020, yet I was the second highest paid cornerback on my team.
Yep.
And I think this is more of you know, everyone else in the league respects me. Can I at least be perceived as a respected player by getting paid more?
Yep.
And I get his stance of, look, the way this defense is created and the way it works is with me being on my own Revis Island. And if that's the case, front office, make your moves, do what you have to do, but make sure that I'm getting compensated accordingly. If I work a certain job a certain way and I'm doing it better than my counterpart, pay me, pay me like it, yeah. So I completely get, why he would, go out there and put it on the line like that. However, and there's always got to be that however. There's the reality, bro. The Dolphins, even prior to Flores, have been on Xavien's side for damn near everything that has come up, whether it be on the field with injuries, off the field with his, run-ins with whatever. It's like, damn, like, do you not hold them putting their neck and their reputation on the line to make sure that you are in a safe place in your mind when you go to sleep at night? And I don't know if this new agent that he's with is even putting that in his mind, like, hey, Xavien, this team, they ride for you. Let's try to take a different approach or a different deal, but make sure you get paid. I'm surprised that that hasn't really been a talking point throughout this entire thing as far as how long they've stuck with him. But I understand completely why Xavien wants to get paid, because he deserves it. I do believe so. Even when he was injured, even the years he was injured, you can still see he's one of the top 10 cornerbacks in the NFL, even during his injuries. Well,
look at even through the injuries. I mean, he's still, since 2018, he has the most interceptions. And how many games has he missed in that span?
Right. That's a big deal, bro. Like, it's important. It's important to let those guys know. Look, I just want to be given what I believe I deserve, which is fine. But again, now we're dealing with egos, not necessarily Xavien's in particular, but with the agent and the front office and their discussions. I think that's more so on them than it is on Xavien. I think Xavien just wants to, be paid accordingly, but he still wants to play. I know he still wants to play. He still wants to prove that he's the man. But man, just the statement alone, I somewhere in my heart, I was like, oh Lord, I'm sorry, Xavien. We can't. I don't think we're gonna keep you, bro. Like that. That's what I got out of that statement. So, the business it is, bro. And he mentioned the business portion of the NFL and what the stance the Miami Dolphins took. He said, I love my teammates, but this is clearly a business decision, and I support Xavien, bro. Like, I'm gonna be straight up.
Well, it's one thing. Everyone basically wants to cheer the player on, and they basically, they back the front office up when they cut ties with players early. But as soon as the player says they're unhappy or they want more money, that player that you're cheering for all of a sudden becomes an issue, bro. It's like, and here's the thing what people aren't talking about enough, okay? Without Xavien Howard, this is what boggles my mind with people who think we're still going to be a top 10 defense without him. Dude, you have to make a bunch of changes schematically to this defense now, okay? Because there's a bunch of things. So let's go over them, okay? One, now from rolling coverage, shading coverage over to Byron's side, that if you start Noah, you're going to have to do that to Noah's side. That's going to leave Byron all out there alone like X was. Byron is not X. Byron is now going to have to earn every penny of that $16 million.
Absolutely.
Without Xavien Howard and now with Noah back there, you cannot blitz as much. I think we blitzed like 29% of the time, right? We were one of the highest blitzing teams in the NFL. You cannot blitz now as much. You don't have the luxury of blitzing as much as you did last year without X there now. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes into play here with X not being on the team that defensively you have to change things around a little bit. Like, Byron Jones, because we don't have one guy to lock down one side, one guy to lock down the other side, unless you want to hang Noah out to dry, you might have to get in a situation where now you're also asking Byron Jones to travel more often than not with number ones.
Which is something I don't think he has done ever in his career.
Well, here's the thing, right? People don't realize last year was Byron Jones' first ever year in a predominantly press man based coverage scheme, bro. It was, and if you go back to Dallas, it was zone/man.
Right.
But he was in predominantly man. Now we're asking him to up his responsibilities even more in year 2. Like, that's what people, all these little nuances people aren't thinking of. They're just saying, oh, Brian Flores knows what he's doing. We're going to be top 10. Doesn't work like that, bro. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Taking a gold star out of your defense will affect the totality of the defense.
Oh, he's our best player, but our defense will be fine without him. What? What? We're best player on our team leaves, but no hiccup in our defense. In what world? This is why I cannot be one of these blind optimists. I'm also not a pessimist. I'm a fucking realist, bro.
Look, I'm telling you right now, bro. This is reminiscent of when, like in football down here, like Optimist football, Little League football. I played for like the Lauderhill Lions, right? And our rivals was the Lauderdale Lakes Vikings. A lot of people from South Florida know that, right? And one of our best players was overweight. I played on 125, and this kid for our team, he put on a garbage bag and started running around the stadium before the game. And the players noticed him immediately. Get down the way, right?
Yeah.
So the opposite team came early and they noticed it and they pointed out to the refs. It was like, hey, ref, look at him. And the refs, cited him, removed him from the roster list. And when I said that was such a vital piece missing, bro, as far as how we needed to beat that team, to whether it be for bragging rights or playoff positioning, bro, when I say we lost that game because we missed out on our best player, bro, it hurt me so bad. I was like, damn, bro, we should have had him on it. If we miss, basically what I'm saying is, if we miss out on Xavien Howard, if Xavien Howard, our best player, is removed from our team, we're going to get, or not, I'm not saying we're going to get worse, but we're not going to be as dominant or as effective as a unit than we were last year, man. It's just, this is just math right now, bro. Like what Xavien Howard can do is beyond what Noah can accomplish when he gets put in there. And we seen Noah, bro. Like,
bro, and on top of this, if this team can't stop the run like last year, top 10, good luck, bro.
I'm just saying.
Luck if they cannot stop the run. Stopping the run and having a natural organic pass rush that applies pressure is the only way to at least slightly circumvent the situation. You won't be able to totally do it because, 10 interceptions, 5 of those interceptions turned into 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals. That's 10 extra possessions. That's 27 points that are now have to be accounted for.
Just look at the numbers, dog. This is common sense, man. We're not going to be as dominant or as great as we were last year because Xavien is not going to be in the lineup, bro.
No,
it's just what it is.
Like it is, and everyone who wants to be the blind optimist and say we will be, send what you're smoking up to me in Canada, and I'll tell you if it's even good enough, bro. Because it's ridiculous, bro. Like it's, I cannot play the blind optimist, bro. I have to be the realist up here, bro. And I don't even care.
Bro, but again, why is it scary to be a realist? That means you can actually observe things in
I'm being objective. I'm not subjective, bro.
It's important. It's important to do that so you can actually make on time adjustments instead of floating in a fantasy land and not making those adjustments prior to.
Bro, some of these people like the fantasy land because everything's sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops, bro. G Firm 456299. He said I played for Lauderhill.
Shout out, bro. I'm 31. I played for Lauderhill 125 pound in 2003. So I was on the team with Kendrick Miller, Keenan, Terrell, Brian. I'm throwing out names if anybody knows them from Lauderhill. I'm just saying, man, we had a squad, man. We just couldn't beat Scott Lake's Vikings, bro. That was they had that stick, man.
Yeah.
We cannot beat Scott Lakes. But yeah, man, that I'm from Lauderhill 03, 125 pounds.
All right, let's get into all the news, okay? Let's start off with an article. Okay, you know what? Let's start off with what Armando released a pretty good article today. So let's get into that.
Yes.
Okay, because there's actually some details in here. Okay, so Xavien Howard asked Dolphins to move money to 2021 rather than seek new deal. One day before he went public with his trade request, Miami Dolphins All-Pro cornerback Xavien Howard and his agent David Cantor talked with the team one final time to try to resolve the player's contract situation. The Dolphins have continued to listen to salary proposals from Howard and Cantor in meetings with general manager Chris Greer and even coach Brian Flores. So in the final meeting before the start of training camp, the player suggested another solution that would merely move money on his current contract around rather than request a totally new deal. Howard and Cantor previously asked the Dolphins to move $4 million from Howard's $11.65 base salary scheduled for 2024 to this year. The move would have accomplished multiple things. It would have made Howard the highest paid player on the team, which he isn't. It would have made him the highest paid cornerback on the team, which he isn't. And it would have made the player feel appreciated and motivated to continue playing at a high level after leading the NFL with 10 interceptions in 2020. Moving the money forward would have also paid Howard money now at age 28 that he may not necessarily ever see in 2024 at age 31. The Dolphins did not agree. Nor did they agree to trade Howard when he originally asked for it, which apparently came before he went public on the eve of training camp. Nor did they agree to a separate request to fully guaranteed Howard's 2022 scheduled salary of $12.375 million when that was suggested. And so Howard went public with his displeasure. So he gave them two options. Either move $4 million from 2024 up to this season. They said no. Or fully guarantee my contract next year. They said no. My agent, David Cantor, and I have never once asked for a completely new contract, Howard wrote on Instagram to his account of 149,000 followers. We wanted things to work out with the Dolphins and brought solutions to the table like guaranteeing more money that we felt were win-win for both sides. Those are proposals of adjustments that wouldn't just make me feel more respected, but were also cap-friendly. But the Dolphins refused everything we proposed. None of Howard's proposals seems outrageous on their face, and each would likely increase his trade value if he carries those requests to a new team rather than seeking a whole new renegotiation. The Dolphins stated reason for declining to shift money around on Howard's deal. They apparently don't like the idea of setting the precedent of reworking a standing contract, according to a source, and they made it clear to Howard they have concerns about his injury history. That injury history, which includes Howard missing 9 games as a rookie in 2016 and 4 more in 2018, didn't prevent the Dolphins from extending him in the summer of 2019. And it goes into the deal, paid Howard $27 fully guaranteed for what was effectively 6 seasons. The next summer, 2020, the Dolphins paid Byron Jones $46 million fully guaranteed on a 5-year deal to play the cornerback spot opposite of Xavien Howard. Howard didn't appreciate that the team valued a new player with less production more than him, and it has not escaped Howard's attention that the Dolphins last season made a statement practically every game that the cornerback making less money was better. Again, last night he wrote, the assignments I've given, shadowing the opposition's best player with little help, proves my value, my worth.
Right.
Yet I'm the second highest paid cornerback on the team, and it's not even close. The worrying thing about this situation is it seems to be getting personal. The negotiations have certainly been personal. Because the Dolphins requested Howard join Cantor in face-to-face meetings with Greer and and others at least once. How did that go? The Dolphins asked Cantor to not to speak with the media, which is a typical request they make of all agents so as to not make negotiations more difficult for them. In return, the team promised it would consider adjusting Howard's contract. Cantor complied and stopped returning texts seeking comments since his first meeting with the team on the subject on January 11th. But all considerations aside, the club has not moved forward toward actually adjusting Howard's current deal, which runs through 2024. See, they're not keeping their end of the bargain. The Dolphins refused everything we proposed, Howard wrote. This is why I don't feel the organization has dealt with me in good faith. Those conversations with X, his representation, Chris Greer, myself, those, like always, will be internal, confidential, and it'll always be that way. That's what Flores said yesterday during his media availability. So where does this go from here? Howard is merely reporting to camp every day to avoid the mandatory $50,000 fine he'd be assessed for holding out. But does that mean he'll practice risking an injury that could sidetrack his trade request? That's not clear. Howard has promised to handle himself like professionals do. The Dolphins, meanwhile, have told Howard and Cantor they do not intend to trade him. That could be true. He is, after all, their most productive player, or it could be a negotiating stance. The club initially resisted the idea of trading disgruntled defensive back Micah Fitzpatrick in 2019 before ultimately sending him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then there's this. Will Howard's demeanor in the locker room, where teammates are aware he is not happy, as he wrote, have a harmful effect on team building? That almost will certainly be addressed with Howard no later than Wednesday morning. Flores, by the way, is not scheduled to speak with reporters until Friday, but he did go on the Joe Rose radio show this morning, and we'll play that clip. Another thing missing here is they did the same thing with Tunsil. They told Tunsil they were not going to trade him. Then they turned around 3 weeks later, and they traded Tunsil.
For a hell of a return, too.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, so G-Firm 299 says, green and gold, my brother actually played for LLV.
I still respect it.
All right, so here's the thing. $4 million?
I know.
We're really doing this over $4 million, or you have $68 million in cap space next year without any cuts to Grant or anyone, and just guaranteeing his $12.375 million next year. That's the holdup.
The scariest thing about this is the guy that's getting paid more than him on the other opposite end is getting $16 million more a year. Correct? Am I accurate with that? So my biggest thing is
paid like $3 million more a year right now, I think.
Oh, okay, but $16 million a year or something like that. I think that's Byron Jones how much he's making, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, let's say they find a way to get Byron Jones in and sit him down with Xavien and the agents. I'm not sure why they didn't have this privately, with behind closed doors with all of those guys, and explain it to Byron. Look, Byron, we gave you this.
His cap hit is $16.1 million this year, and if you were to give $4 million more to X, it would bring him to 16.725 or 35 million.
Man, oh man.
$4 million. Oh, man. You guys are really, and what's this precedent bull crap, bro? He's the best player on our team, and he's top 3 at his position. How many guys on this team do we have that can say that?
None.
One. That's him.
Just him. Yeah.
So what precedent are you setting? Okay, if you're top 3 at your position league-wide, and you're clearly the best player on our team, we will give you a little, not even
more
renegotiating.
incentive.
We will break off some extra bread for you to make you happy. Is that really, is he really being unreasonable here?
It's no different than when your kids come home during report card time, one of them gets straight A's. Hey, you make an example of that kid. Like, look, this is what happens when you get straight A's on your report card. You get some toys or something like that. Man, you're supposed to pay Xavien, man. And again, I know why they don't want to do it. Because of I would assume it's because they just want to keep some type of authority over the players, which is a Patriot thing to do. But I can recall you guys saying it the other night, man. Once Brian Flores wins 6 Super Bowls,
Yeah.
That's when you can start,
you got the
that's
cachet.
precisely. That's when you can start
Win
doing
me
stuff like
one
that.
and we'll talk, bro. Never mind mistakes.
When we make the playoffs, then we'll have those type of, nuts on the table. This is what we're gonna do. But I mean, come on, man. We got to be smarter than this, man. You can't let
This is a bad look, bro.
you can't let all pros, like you saying, walk out of the door, man. Tunsil, Minka, now Xavien's on his way out. Like it just looks bad.
I
Yeah, it
ask
looks
again,
bad.
just a simple yes or no. Is asking for either $4 million to be shipped from 2024 to this year, or $12.375 million contract year he has next year in his contract being fully guaranteed. Is that just yes or no? Is that unreasonable?
No, it's not.
Like I don't know what to say, bro. Like this is just, bro. Like Logan 15 again. I go back to why the hell is Ross letting them do this to their All-Pro player? $4 million. Cut Grant, get it done. Now it's probably a bit more. Okay, so here's the thing I wanted to add too. Let's just add some context to this situation because I see people and they're wrong already in the comments. So adding to the X situation, okay. Benardrick and McKinney, the details of his restructure came out today. All right. So this is the details. He restructured his contract. Previously, he had 3 years left on his deal worth $27.5 million, including $7.75 million salary this year. McKinney will now earn $3 million this year, plus $2,000 in playtime incentives. But he'll now be a free agent after this year. Okay. That extra $4.75 million that they freed up, guys, write that off the books. That went to Eichenberg, Holland, and Hunter Long. Me and Ball Game about 2 weeks ago on the finish line sat there before it went live, and I pulled up the numbers, and it would cost just over $4 million to sign those 3 players. So that Benardrick and McKinney money, it is no coincidence that all of a sudden the rookies started getting paid after that. That's all towards the rookie class. So we are back down to around $4-ish million right now on $4 to $5 million we have left total cap space after the rookies are signed. So write all that money off. That money went to the rookies. Okay? Shout out to Ramon for becoming a new member. So all of that money, basically write it off to the rookies. Before we get back into X, another dumb move by the front office, because if this guy ends up being the run stopper and stuffer we think he's going to be, and the impact player he's going to be, now he could potentially walk out of the door when he had 3 years, or you're going to have to pony up some serious Baker-type money all over again.
Oh, man.
Oh man! Why? Whose idea was it to lock 2 years off of this contract, bro? Like, whose idea for saving $4 million? Just cut Jakeem Grant, bro. You would have saved your $4.5 million. Like, who made this call, bro?
I don't know, man.
Dude, what are these people in the front office? Bro, are these guys on like LSD right now? Like, I don't know what's going on, bro.
I don't know, man.
There's got to be some opiates going around the front office right now, bro. You don't want to pay $4 million extra this year to the best player on the team, and on top of that, arguably the best run stuffer we just acquired on this team. You say, yeah, for $4 million, we'll lop 2 years off your contract. Holy, bro. It is just wild west in that front office right now, bro.
Every morning they got a bump session going on with straight lines, bro, all over the table.
Bro,
countdown. 1, 2, 3.
All
right, guys, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, bro. They got to get Gase's plug out of Miami, bro. He's still doing harm. Jesus, bro, this is just unbelievable stuff. Shout out to Daddy Dean. He's a new member. Appreciate you, man. I just don't like. This is just beyond comprehension for me, bro. Like, this is just unbelievable stuff, bro. Like, I mean, I don't like. Good God Almighty!
Lord knows. Only the Lord knows, man.
Only the Lord knows, and even he checked out, bro. Chief Worm 456 donated $4.99. He said, I doubt we'd have this issue if we hadn't signed Byron Jones to a monster contract. XL played Jones statistically in his earning list. You're 110% right, Chief Worm.
That's the truth.
Wouldn't even be an issue right now.
My goodness,
but on the same token, you have to look at it realistically.
I know. The business.
Miami has over $8 million in cap space per spot track in OTC because they haven't added the rookie contracts to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so because the details haven't come out, that's exactly why they have over $8 million. Come on, guys, let's do some common sense here.
Sheesh, man.
So
it's bad timing, man.
Bro,
damn,
it's ridiculous, dude.
And it's almost like we never have an off season where, like almost never have an off season where the front office, the coaching staff, the players, and the fan base are just all on the same page, ready to gear up for a playoff run, bro. Never for the Miami Dolphins, bro. I don't know. It's like we're cursed, man. This the Marino curse, man. I think it is. After we got blown out by the Jacksonville Jaguars on his exit, he said, you know what? He did his voodoo dance, right after he left that locker room, and voila. Not one off season, man. Not one off season where we were actually confident. You know what I mean? But let's see. Any good news?
Not really. Well, there was good news from camp. We'll get into that, but we got some more X stuff to cover. Clearly.
Oh boy!
All right, so let's hop into the appearance on Joe Rose today by Brian Flores. Just let me know you can hear it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now has
you can hear that?
I can hear that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Discover your new summer soundtrack.
Okay, let's
get moving with worthy workouts for a car barbecues.
10.25-inch infotainment screen.
To the Toyota of Hollywood hotline right now. Shop over 1,500 Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Brian Flores, joining us right now. Brian, coach, welcome to camp. How you doing? I guess a lot of news coming out of day one, but at least we're back to football at this point.
Hey, guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me. Joe, Zach at work today?
Yeah. I'm here. No, I'm here, coach.
No,
just for you.
He knew you were. He said, is coach coming on? My ass is going to be in there in the morning. Yeah. But he made me bring in extra coffee. But that's all right, coach. We're ready to go. Coach, well, the Xavien Howard story overnight on social media threw it out there. He and his agent, everything but what they wanted. They thought it could work. You guys said no to everything, and so he's requesting a trade. What are your thoughts on that as you get set for that for day one, Coach?
Look, we understand his concerns. Look, X is a great player,
Brian?
Good teammate. I love coaching him. Obviously, we've had discussions with him, his representation. I talked to him yesterday. I'll keep all those conversations between us, including his contract situation.
Yeah.
I guess the plan is to continue to have discussions on our part, continue to have, talks with him and his representation. We love X. He's a good player. He's competitive. He's here. He's showing up. We expect him to contribute the same way he has. He was out there yesterday, passed his conditioning test. He's in good shape. So we'll understand his concerns, and we'll just try to work through this as best we can.
Yeah, Coach. Just to follow up because my phone blew.
I got 4 million reasons why you're not working through it, Brian.
Is there a way we can still save this and have him happy as such a big part of your defense in your mind?
Look, there's a way. I think we just, continue to have discussions with him, his representation, and keep the.
We're gonna have 4 million more meetings with his representation until we come to a conclusion.
Work something out. At the same time, we've got
shout out to Big M3M
guys. That we'll be working with to include X, and try to build this team and improve on a day-to-day basis, build team chemistry, and that's where
Logan 15. Marino cursed us with the 13. We got to burn our most prized possessions to break the curse. Come on, guys. I'll start. Let's go. Ted Lasso knows what's up.
Flip this over.
Yo, Ted, shout out to Ted
'cause I've
Lasso.
never
That
been
show's
through this
amazing.
And saw it for the first time the other day when you guys opened up the new facility. I was blown away. It's one thing to walk around and see it from the outside or drive by it. What were your thoughts when you first saw that sucker?
I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful facility. State of the art.
Right, Josh.
Task force here.
Josh is 110% right.
I mean, it's a
PR
to Steve Ross and Tom Garth.
Also, over the cap and Spot
build
Track
that
have
place
updated
where,
with the rookie
we can
contracts, and they say we have $8
practice,
million. So
train,
you go figure it out.
Get medical treatment and do all the things necessary.
I think we had 5.46
help the
million
players,
before they
improve,
added
get
the
better,
extra
reach their potential, be the best
4.75.
versions
So
of themselves, and so we're excited
10.5 million.
Plus,
It
you got
makes
a slide
sense.
there
About
now in camp, so
3
that's
million.
You think
also,
Coach
fun.
has gone down that slide yet?
I'm gonna bet no, but I'm gonna say he's gonna
I'll
get
bet-
pressured
I'll
into
bet
it
his
by
boys
other
have.
players.
I'll bet his two sons have
Oh,
both
the
been down
kids
that
definitely
slide.
have. All right, Coach, just lay it on the line. Have you went down the slide or no?
We're gonna get you two guys down.
Right, I'm in, Coach. I'm in for that. I'm always in for a good time,
They
Coach.
put an age limit on that. Coach.
Right.
You can't go down that.
All right,
after
Coach.
60.
So now we're in a new day and age, and now we have to ask these questions along with football. And I know that you've had a lot of questions asked about COVID and the vaccine and everything. Have those conversations? Have you had individual conversations with players about that, about either getting it or not getting it? It's unfortunate that that's the world we're living in now.
He
And you have
talks
to
about
ask that
Tua.
before
That's all I'm
football
waiting
stuff.
for now.
But I saw the 85% vaccine threshold for players with this team, and we see the news on other teams. How much conversation have you had with players or other coaches about COVID and the vaccine?
Like anything, it's not just me having conversations, educating the players. It's our medical staff headed up by Kyle Johnston, our head athletic trainer. It's all of our coaches. I mean, we've all been educated. We've gone through the kind of the league education. We just give that information to the players. Advise them as best we can, but at the end of the day, they get the information, they get the pros and cons, and that's, I've tried to stay away from, hey, you should do this or you should do that. I don't think that's the right thing to do in this situation. But we just educate them and say, hey, here are the benefits to doing it. Here's some pros, cons to making that decision for you or yourself, but also for other people. And we're
Oh, that's just.
How about to say that? Was that me?
No, it just ended. It's just.
Honestly.
Starts and a lot of playing time. Where is he from that Buffalo game to where you see him right now, Coach?
Well, I mean, he's confident. I think he's excited to get out there and continue to work on his. We respect that choice.
Coach, Tua, 1 year under his belt with 9 starts and a lot of playing time. Where is he from that Buffalo game to where you see
Shout
him
out to
right
Joel
now,
Fields.
Coach?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he's confident. I think he's excited to get out there and continue to work on his craft. Obviously, he's put a lot of work in over the course of the off season on his body, on his mechanics, on his understanding of the game, from a playbook standpoint, on his communication at the line of scrimmage, of his command of the offense. So I think he's excited to get out there and put it into action. I think it's one thing to kind of work through these things. You just don't get that many opportunities to get everybody on the field, get a defense, get different looks. So I think he's excited for that. But I think, that's the case for all of our guys and all of our quarterbacks. Jacoby's the same way. Reed Sinet's the same way. And, again, all our players, offensively, defensively, in the kicking game. So, and I'm excited to coach him. Day one's, I want to be out there early, 10 days from now, that may not be the case. They're all going to be tired and wanting to sleep in a little bit more, but, I know they'll all be out there early, ready to go, and, we're excited.
Coach, how important is it to get a starting 5 on that offense?
That sounded like it was going to be that sounded like it was going to be important, man.
So he just he just asked how important is it to get a starting 5 out on the offensive line. Here's the thing. we're just getting a bunch of PR answers.
Yeah, true.
We're not getting anything moving the needle here from Brian Flores, right?
Right.
Nothing that is going to blow people away in regards to him. So I don't know, man. I saw people in the comments all over him saying, he's lying here, he is lying again, et cetera, et cetera. See, here's the wrong mentality. If we don't make athletes honor their contract, we will be screwed. What about when teams don't honor athletes' contracts and they cut them right away? Why does it only work one way with some of you people?
That's true.
This is where I'm at. Like, everyone, you guys you drive down a one-way street.
That's
Works
true.
both ways here, man.
Mm-hmm.
The guy asked for $4 million extra this year, or to fully guarantee his contract next year. He doesn't have unreasonable requests.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man. This isn't a one-way street.
And truthfully, that's why people always argue that NBA players have much more power and they wield it a lot more than NFL players because first of all, the numbers game as far as how many players are on each team, and then obviously if you're a superstar in the NBA, it's in the team's best interest to do whatever they can to keep that superstar happy. But in the NFL, I don't know, man. This notion of replaceability, I think it's been overblown. It's difficult to find guys like Xavien that literally fall in your lap in the second round, and he's pretty much a top 10, top 15 cornerback out the gate. So
Wait,
I don't know.
It's 5. He says his Flores is trying to sell to other teams, or is he truly excited about his progress? I think I don't think he's trying to sell him to other teams. I think he's just telling all of you what you want to hear.
Right.
Like, you got to understand, this guy's never going to come out and say, "Oh, I talked to X, he wants out. We're not going to trade him." "Oh, I'm not happy with his progress." The last thing he wants to do is show cracks in the foundation.
Right. No bulletin board material.
It's ridiculous, bro. So, anyways, let's keep rolling here. All right.
Oh, guys. Reason momentarily exited.
All right, so yeah, my bad.
Nah, it's all good.
I literally just shut the window by accident. So, all right, let's keep it rolling here. So last night, if you guys remember who Jared Powers is, he's a former NFL cornerback. Basically, what happened was PFF basically put out a trade proposal. The Cardinals receive Xavien Howard. The Dolphins receive a Chandler Jones 5th-round pick. Now, before we get into this, you can agree, like how do I word this? The cornerback brotherhood in the NFL of retired and current players is one of the tightest positions in the all of the NFL. We can all agree on that, right?
That an offensive line, yes.
Yeah, like in terms of players talking, players knowing each other, what's going on, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Arizona made this. This was PFF gave this hypothetical offer. Well, former Arizona Cardinals cornerback Jared Powers said Miami actually offered them this trade earlier this year, and the Arizona Cardinals turned them down. Now, the key words is obviously earlier this year. It goes back to what I've been saying, like these guys have quietly been shopping and listening to offers for Xavien Howard for quite some time. Just because he formally requested his trade does not mean they weren't. All X is doing is expediting the process because the Dolphins were working at their own pace. And now when you see this, a former corner who's connected to the Arizona Cardinals coming out and saying this, I mean, what are your thoughts, Martin?
It's unfortunate because this is one of the teams that I believe would have been a perfect candidate to make the swap with, as far as trade value. And more specifically, the name swirling around the potential of a Cardinals trade was Chandler Jones, and now seeing that this was already, this was already a discussion in the past, and Arizona's like, nah,
we're good.
Yeah, that's a little, that's tough to see. That's tough to hear, bro. It really is.
And isn't it kind of even makes even more sense. We've talked about this before. People try to give Flores a pass on certain roster moves and certain acquisitions when it's clear Flores was behind them, i.e. every Patriot who's come through the system since he's been here. Some of the draft picks like Javon Holland, Hunter Long, Raekwon Davis, et cetera, et cetera. It would make even more sense because of how familiar Brian Flores, the coach, is with Chandler Jones, the player, that he would be willing to make a move for him, no?
Mm-hmm.
Especially in to fit into the scheme.
Yes. And again, maybe did Chandler Jones already request a trade from Arizona? Is this
he did
this
a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago he did.
So
when he says earlier this year, I'm assuming this was before he formally requested a trade.
Right. So now I'm starting to think to myself, you know what? If this was a discussion and they said no, probably under the influence that, okay, Chandler Jones is not going to be traded because he's going to be a part of our team in 2021, but now Chandler's saying no, I actually want to be traded. Maybe this can reignite a potential trade agreement as far as between them and Xavien Howard. Maybe he could. Maybe he could spark it up again. But if they've already said no, they've already had that discussion. We can only assume that there's something that they don't see or don't or didn't like what they heard as far as what Xavien Howard doesn't bring to the table to make them say no. But I mean, if they can get that if they can get that talk started up again, I'm all for it, man. Just because I would love to see that.
I agree. G Firm question for a reason in the Lauderdale legend, Lauderhill legend.
Yes,
how would
sir.
you grade to his day based on the reports that surfaced today? B.
We'll
get into all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll say B plus, man.
Yeah, there you go. The only reason I'm not giving him a B plus is because of the 2 picks. Even though one was a miscommunication.
And if we want to get into that too, whenever you're ready, I'm gonna try to break that down too, man.
Yeah, we'll get into it in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
No, they would not trade us Rodney Hudson for X in a second. They just got Rodney Hudson. I don't think they're moving Rodney Hudson.
That's
and
true.
Rodney Hudson's old. Rodney Hudson's old. I'd rather trade him to the Saints for an Eric McCoy or a Cesar Ruiz. Okay, so then later on in the day, this report came out, bro, from Ian Rappaport. Less than a day after cornerback Xavien Howard requested a trade, 2 playoff teams called the Dolphins inquiring about trading for Howard, source said. Others have too. Howard, by the way, practiced fully today and has handled himself like a professional. So let me ask you this. Do you believe this report, or do you think that this has been put out by the Dolphins to ramp up interest because they aren't getting offers that they're pleased with right now?
I think it's to ramp up interest. As far as what we consider professional and professionalism, what I would think of as professional is when nobody knows anything. You know what I mean? As far as your contract, your request, and all this other stuff, I think that's a little more professional. But if Miami is saying, okay, he's been handling himself professionally in the locker room and in the meeting rooms, and he's still attentive. He's still going through the rehearsal and the the, everything that you're supposed to do while you're under contract, that's the professionalism that they're referring to, then I would say, yes, they're telling the truth. But overall professional, saying that he's professional and presenting him as a professionalism or professional player, I think that's more so to boost up his trade value to other teams to see if they can handle, whatever type of personality that they may think they're getting in Xavien. So,
yeah, I think they just haven't got an offer that they've liked, and the offers they've sent out that they felt comfortable with have been refuted and shot down. I don't think they're at a position where anything that they've come, and people, I got in a conversation with one of my buddies, Steve, today, and he said, well, why hadn't the Jared Powers story leaked? And I said, bro, if you talk to Arizona and it's a hard no, there's nothing to talk about or leak. Now, if you say we're interested and you start working on parameters on other stuff that might work, then it leaks down because other people get involved. But if you're Arizona's GM and I'm Chris Greer and I call you up and then you just say no, hang up the phone, neither one of us have anything to talk about to anyone.
Right.
But if you say you're no, but I'm interested in the player, then we have something to talk about to other people in the organization, right? So continuing on with this, I wanted to show you this, bro. Sean Payton today was asked specifically, and the Saints Twitter, the official Saints Twitter, put this up, and this is when Payton was asked if the Saints will be looking to add another cornerback. Let me make sure I'm sharing with audio here so you guys can hear. This is very interesting, bro, because they're a team that's been rumored to be tied, right?
Yes.
So here you go. Listen to what he says.
Yeah, there's still an area there. There's still a position there. There's still a player there that we need to find. We'll continue looking and looking at everyone that we think might be a candidate to fill that much.
Yeah, that put a smile on my face, bro.
I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah, I think if we're looking at that through the lens of which teams are tied to Xavien Howard and Xavien Howard's name being one of the main press on NFL.com or just NFL in general. With that being said, for Sean Payton to choose his words wisely and state it just like that, we're still looking for, what am I paraphrasing? That guy, if I'm not mistaken,
that player.
Now, whenever you hear something,
bro, give me Eric,
that player,
Eric McCoy or Cesar Ruiz. Let's go.
I think I'll go for McCoy over Ruiz because McCoy's actually been there, done that, and I believe with the Ruiz, because I believe he played center at Michigan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and they had him at guard last year.
Yes,
he only allowed 21 pressures and no sacks at guard last year.
I think Ruiz.
And guys, you're not getting Alvin Kamara. Get it out of your head. You're not getting Alvin Kamara.
Who's the Alvin?
All these people in the chat, all these people on Dolphins Twitter, you're not getting Alvin Kamara, bro.
Nah, he ain't coming.
He's as close to untouchable as you can place on a player for the Saints.
I agree.
The reason why they can afford to trade McCoy is because they can shift Cesar Ruiz there
easily. Yes, and I prefer McCoy because he actually has
upgrades
live
right away.
NFL reps, and I mean, let's do that. You know what I mean? But I feel good hearing that from Sean Payton, bro. I'm really excited about that. Shout out to the Saints, bro.
Bro, who won? Brandon, why would you want Will Clapp over Eric McCoy? Eric McCoy is a Pro Bowl player.
I love Eric McCoy, bro. I love Eric McCoy.
Dude,
underrated.
He's one of the best centers in the game.
Yes. Arguably top 10. Arguably.
Yeah, bro. Well, I wouldn't say arguably. I think he is top 10, bro, for me at least. Like, why would we want Will Clapp? When Will Clapp isn't even the starting center there, bro. He's the backup center.
Oh, but unless he's saying Will Clapp and like Alvin Kamara, I guess that's what
You're not
he
getting
might be saying.
you're not getting Kamara, bro.
Not Kamara's their main piece on offense this year. Period. He's
I'm
their
telling
main
you,
piece.
the names to watch are Ruiz because they wanted him last year, McCoy and Cameron Jordan. Clearly, if they offered, here's the thing: they were offered Derek Barnett. Now the rumor is they tried to offer extra Chandler Jones. Clearly, they're trying to even add another pass rusher. And one of the trade proposals I said was Cameron Jordan as well. Plus, Cameron Jordan frees up another 9-point-something million for the Saints.
How do you feel about Marcus Davenport as like a fair trade piece, including a Caesar or Eric McCoy? Because he's technically he's not a bust yet, but I think they will want to get off of him because they just drafted.
So you're saying
a defensive end in the first round.
You're saying he's coming with Eric
McCoy or Cesar Ruiz. I think we can ask for that, considering that Marcus Davenport has been massively underwhelming in New Orleans, comparable to where they drafted him. And I don't know if they want to re-sign him on his rookie contract, or extend his rookie contract. I think we should try to see if we can get the most out of him, because as a prospect, he was out of this world. But as a pro, he just hasn't panned out. I would want to see that as far as if we can get.
If you're
that
adding him to Eric McCoy, let's go.
Yeah. That's
buddy.
I'm
telling you right now, I would do Eric McCoy for Xavien Howard straight up.
Damn.
Eric McCoy instantaneously improves this offensive line tremendously, bro.
I agree.
Tremendously. And I would have far less concerns with Eric McCoy manning this offensive line.
I agree, man. I'm waiting to see, man. I'm waiting to see what happens with this Xavien Howard stuff, bro, because something's gonna happen. Whether we give him his money or we find a trade partner, but something is gonna happen. I'm just glad I saw that with Sean Payton, bro, because that's as clear as day. Him saying, "Look, if he's there, we'll shoot that shot." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
All right, let's get into training camp. And let's start off with the Dolphins. Obviously, started off a day today with some news. They signed offensive guard Tyler Mars. They placed offensive lineman DJ Fluker, Devante Parker, surprise, Landon Roberts, and Preston Williams on the active, physically unable to perform list. Larnell Coleman was put on the reserve/COVID list. Now, Parker's health issue is apparently nothing significant or serious. Roberts was placed on the PUP list because of conditioning, according to a source. The team wants him in better shape. The Dolphins, Tyler Mars, he's only played 6 NFL games with 1 start for Tennessee all the way back in 2018. He was an undrafted free agent. So, Roberts, too, the thing with Roberts is, he's coming back from a really serious knee injury.
Yep.
And he had surgery in December. Williams still hasn't recovered from his foot surgery in November. A little bit surprised. Fluker was placed on it. Apparently, Fluker it's more so about conditioning as well. And yeah, I just kind of what a surprise that Devante Parker and Preston Williams start out. It wouldn't be training camp without them, bro. You know what I mean?
Without them on the bicycle, like just rocking side to side, like here we go again.
It literally wouldn't be without them, man. Like, oh my god,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised because remember the talk was about Solomon Kinley and his conditioning. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that he's not making any of these lists like this, man. Is he a full go? He's a green light?
Who, McKinney?
Kinley, Solomon Kinley.
No, yeah, Kinley was apparently a green light, bro. He's a full go today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear, man. Because Kinley, in my opinion, is about to. I think he's gonna have a huge season, bro.
Yeah, I think Omar talked about him today, and he gave him props on his he was out there moving. He clearly passed his conditioning test if he was on the field today, right? So, but yeah, just again, wouldn't be training camp without Devante Parker and Preston Williams put on the pup list, bro.
And I will say this about when they have guys that you kind of expected to be on there, and some guys that are unexpected on the physically unable to perform list.
Yeah.
I usually kind of chalk that up to, okay, they just want to see other guys that may be fringe players get some reps, just get those extra reps while those guys are on the sideline, and see also a scenario of if those guys actually do go down, which is the likelihood, that, hey, now let's see how we adjust to these players when we're down a couple players. So I think that's one of the strategies I would say to have guys on the PUP list.
Yeah. Josh Williams donates $4.99, and he asked, Reason, did you hear about the Kirk Merritt yak today? Yeah, I did, bro. He shook someone out of his pants, and he had a reception for a big gain. Man, I might have got my second Pfizer shot today and lied down for a little bit, but I didn't miss any updates for today, man. I didn't miss any at all, bro.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I hope he makes the team. And while Preston and Devante are riding the sideline, hey, but the only thing is, to show you where Merritt's at right now, it was Reed Sinnett that completed the pass to him. So he's clearly working with the third team, right? So I know Travis Wingfield said he made a full effort and it was a big play. And he said, quote unquote, he wasn't messing around with the yak. So it was a big play. Merritt's that dude, man. All he's got to be doing is giving a chance. I'm telling you.
Merritt, I think Merritt really wants to make this roster. And really show out, bro. Yeah.
I want him to, so I can look right from a year ago.
This might be our Victor Cruz, bro. It might be.
All right, let's get into it. All right, let's get into first day of training camp. Let's go over everything. We'll start off with the notes from the Palm Beach Post. Some of these are behind a paywall, so you won't see them anywhere else, baby. All right, let's start off with the Palm Beach Post. And then we're going to show some clips. And yes, we will show the clip of the Albert Wilson. Don't worry. So Tua Tagovailoa looks felt and fit, and in the first training camp of the second season featured 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, some good, some bad. But what was more important than any of the passes he completed or the ones Tagovailoa didn't was what he appeared to be at the end of this Dolphins practice, a leader. For after it was over, a fairly sweltering day on the outdoor practice field at the newly christened and still glistening Dolphins training facility, Tagovailoa called the entire Dolphins offense together. Just being able to talk to the guys and tell the guys not always what they want to hear, but kind of what they need to hear. Tagovailoa said Wednesday during his media availability. You guys can see it. It's up on YouTube. Tagovailoa is a nice guy, but it's time to be more demanding. He knows it. And certainly it's easier to be demanding when you're the undisputed starting quarterback. Tagovailoa knows the plays better. He knows his teammates better. He understands better all that goes into being the ultimate pro. An old soul, this Tua, all of 23. Bringing the film room to walk through some practice, Tagovailoa said of his goal. Tagovailoa was fine on Wednesday. He still appears to be more comfortable on rollouts and when operating quickly. So perhaps Miami will do plenty of that, along with all the RPO plays he ran at Alabama. I'm very excited about what we have in the playbook, Tagovailoa said. I think a lot of plays that we have in the playbook fit the skills of the guys that we have. As for going through the day with teammates, tight end Mike Gesicki was impressed. Leadership, decision-making, communication, Gesicki said, you can tell Tua is super prepared both mentally and physically. Last year, he was building towards that. This year, it's his show. Part of the Tua show that must improve in 2021 is the aerial theatrics. The most encouraging moment of the somewhat mundane opening practice came near the very end. Tagovailoa uncorked a bomb to resurgent Albert Wilson for a completion of about 60 yards. You listening, Clump? Beautiful ball, Wilson said. I'm confident with my deep throws, Tagovailoa said. Tagovailoa had a red zone touchdown pass to Adam Shaheen. He also tossed interceptions to Jerome Baker and Andrew Van Ginkel. A lot of miscommunication Tua conceded. Apparently, the Andrew Van Ginkel interception, guys, it was a miscommunication between him and Adam Shaheen. Tagovailoa is reestablishing chemistry with one of his college receivers, Jalen Waddle, and is establishing chemistry with newcomer Will Fuller. Finding where the guys are going to be, he said, knowing how guys are on certain routes, knowing their depth. No, that's what we're trying to find out right now. Brush up on some things. Standing in the presence of Tagovailoa for the first time since January of 2020, thanks COVID, it is clear just how much work he's put into the weight and strength and flexibility training. Tua seems to have completely transformed his body. That should make things much easier for him on the field in 2021. It's easier to complete deeper passes when all the body parts are working together to maximize torque. Tua also has a clearer idea of where he stands. He is the leader of Miami's offense. He is a key leader of the Dolphins. What he says carries a lot of weight. Offensive coordinators George Gotze and Eric Studesville have designed a playbook around his strengths. Training camp is the perfect time to demonstrate increased confidence, knowledge, and assertiveness. Tagovailoa's even keel and calm has always served him well. He's also shown an ability to connect with people. Tagovailoa knows when things have to be cleaned up, it's on him. Tagovailoa knows when things have to be brushed up, it's on him. Tagovailoa accepts the responsibility as training camp kicks off. What is Tagovailoa most excited about? What's exciting, Tagovailoa said Wednesday, is when everyone is on the same page. Big comments there. So let's keep rolling. We'll go through. We'll make. We'll give our thoughts after we get through these. Okay, so now from the Sun Sentinel, this is their report with stock up, stock down. Don't call it a comeback, but Michael Dieter's mission in his third training camp is to regain a starting spot on the Miami Dolphins offensive line. Dieter, who started all but one game as Miami's left guard in 2019, was relegated to a backup last season as he transitioned to center. Fast forward a season, and Dieter's a contender in one of the most heated camp battles as he competes with Matt Skura and Tom Cameron for the starting center spot vacated by the free agent defection of Ted Karras, who returned to New England. I can't sit here and say I was with the starters today. Can't sit here and say I was with the starters today, so I'm a starter, Dieter said following Wednesday practice. It's not redemption at the end of the year. Maybe it's redemption. Dieter's referring to whether or not he ends the season as Miami's starting center, which has been a problematic position for years, going back to Mike Pouncey, who struggles with his hip. Dieter worked at center in college, playing the position last in 2016. He submerged himself into all that went into playing center last season after the Dolphins signed Eric Flowers as a free agent and handed the veteran offensive guard, who was traded to Washington this offseason, a starting spot. For a couple hours, it was tough, said Dieter, referring to his demotion last year. It felt like I was redshirting all over again. According to Dieter, playing center is a little more mentally grueling, which I've warned each and every one of you about, than working at guard or tackle. And that's because of all of the calls and identifications that need to be made before the ball is snapped. What have I been saying, Martin? All these people out here trying to say Dieter's going to start. Dieter's going to start. Bro, it's more than snapping a ball, man.
I know.
You got to call out disguises. You got to call out stunts. You got to ID mics. You got to ID player. Like, this is not easy, bro. Yeah, like all of that communication starts there and goes back to the quarterback, man.
Absolutely.
You really have to make sure your calls are dialed in, Dieter said. To play center, you have to be super tough and smart. The Dolphins hope the former Wisconsin standout, who the franchise selected in the third round of the 2019 draft, fits the criteria and becomes a regular contributor. But to do that, he'll need to outperform Skura and Cameron, two veterans. So here are the camp observations. Linebackers Jerome Baker and Andrew Van Ginkel both stepped in front of Tua Tagovailoa passes, pulling the 2 interceptions down during Wednesday's practice session. According to Tagovailoa, he made a bad throw on the first interception, and the second was a byproduct of a miscommunication between him and a tight end. One of Tagovailoa's 2 touchdown throws came off a rollout play in the red zone that was caught by tight end Adam Shaheen. Jacoby Brissett had an impressive day, carving up the Dolphins secondary, which leaned heavily on cornerbacks Gravon LeBlanc, Tino Ellis, and Trill Williams. So he's out there beating the second team because Xavien Howard and Byron Jones sparingly participated during 11-11s, which led to the elevation of others. Brissett had an efficient day attacking the middle of the field, throwing to Robert Foster, a newcomer out of this offseason, Alan Hearns. But Hearns, who sat out all last season as one of the 2 Dolphins COVID-19 opt-outs, did drop a wide-open 40-yard touchdown pass from Brissett. Bye-bye, Allen. Stock up.
Lord.
Albert Wilson showcased the speed he was missing all of 2019 because of a lingering hip injury. And the 7-year veteran built on that Wednesday when he caught a 65-yard touchdown pass from Tagovailoa, which was slightly underthrown. There you go, Omar. It was without a doubt the best throw and catch of the Dolphins' first day in practice. Stock down. Don't be surprised if the Dolphins call in a few punters for a tryout in the coming weeks because Michael Pilardi's first day punts were lacking distance and hang time. Pilardi, a former St. Thomas Aquinas standout who missed the 2020 season because of a knee injury, was signed this spring to replace Matt Hack, who signed a 3-year deal worth $5.475 million with Buffalo this offseason. But if Pilardi, who has played 55 games in the NFL career with the Carolina Panthers, keeps kicking short, the Dolphins might have to explore their options before the regular season begins. And their quote of the day, "As long as I have good days back-to-back, I'm not worried about anything," Wilson said when asked about Miami's depth at receiver, which will force some tough decisions when it comes to trim down the 53-man regular season roster. Okay. So this is the Miami Herald's now report on day 1 of training camp. The first training camp practice of 2021 for the Miami Dolphins is in the books, and this is what happened. It was a very run-centric day for the offense. Yes, the quarterbacks got their chance to throw up some passes, particularly in team drills. And starter Tua Tagovailoa completed a 65-yard touchdown to Albert Wilson behind the secondary near the end of practice. That was definitely the highlight of this practice. Second teamer Jacoby Brissett completed a 20-yard strike to Alan Hearns, and on an adjacent field as the number 2 offense worked against the number 2 defense. There you go. So he was beating the number 2 defense. Both quarterbacks had a good day. Tagovailoa did throw an interception to linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel, another to Jerome Baker, but Miami's quarterback spent most of the practices throws connecting on short and intermediate passes, primarily receiver Will Fuller and tight end Mike Gesicki. The Gesicki link is important because the tight end last year clearly had better games when Fitzpatrick played than Tagovailoa. An important note on Fuller: he walked off the field with a trainer before the final 15 minutes of practice occurred. Fuller was not limping and didn't seem in significant distress, but this will bear monitoring. Beyond the passing, much of this practice was spent running the ball. Myles Gaskin, the starting running back from a year ago, seemed quick in his movements. Cornerback Xavien Howard, wanting more money on his contract, was at practice on Wednesday, but to say he was very active throughout that would be incorrect. Howard participated in individual drills, but sat out a large portion of the team drills. It didn't seem to be related to his contract situation, however, because fellow starting cornerback Byron Jones also sat out a significant portion of team drills. Noah Benardrick and Justin Coleman and Nick Needham got a lot of run this practice. Rookie linebacker Jalen Phillips, Miami's number 18 overall selection in the draft, worked up and down the depth chart, but it's clear the Dolphins envision him joining the starters, if not already there eventually. As it should be. Phillips, who's primarily a hand in the dirt defensive end at the University of Miami, got a lot of work dropping back into coverage today. The new Dolphins offense, the brainchild of co-offensive coordinators Eric Stootsville and George Godsey, is going to be interesting to watch this camp and during the preseason. From a layman's vantage point, it includes a lot of read option type stuff last year's offense had, and this. Tagovailoa had several schemed rollouts this day. I'd say more than a handful. Lots of rollouts to get the 6-foot quarterback out of the pocket and give him a clear view down the field. For those of you interested in special teams, remember it's 1/3 of the game. The Dolphins are so far auditioning Jakeem Grant, Will Fuller, and Jalen Waddle returning punts. There's a lot of speed at punt returner, no matter who wins the job. Finally, the Dolphins placed Fluker, Parker, Roberts, Preston Williams on the PUP, Coleman to the reserve COVID list. Parker, Roberts, and Williams all witnessed parts of practice on the sideline. And then they also signed guard Tyler Mars as well today. All right. So before we get into the video clips, bro, what are your thoughts on notes from practice, dude?
Pretty good day one. You know what I mean? As far as getting over the conditioning test and having guys out there running around finally. About the 2 interceptions too, by the way, the 2 interceptions, one to Jerome Baker and one to AVG, obviously one being a miscommunication interception. But I always think to myself, you know, where are the interceptions thrown? Because there's 3 levels to the defense that you have to be mindful about when it comes to these type of plays. So level 1, meaning defensive line edge rushers, level 2 linebackers, and level 3 is the secondary. I'm feeling good about these interceptions because now I'm kind of saying to myself, bro, if you have a situation where you're throwing interceptions at level 1 and level 2, whereas where AVG and Jerome Baker would be at, that means what's been going on in level 3. You know, why haven't we heard an interception from like Javon Holland, or interception from Jason McCourty, or intercept? I'm starting to think to myself, okay, maybe he's actually connecting on the deeper routes that we've been trying to see.
Apparently, he had a rocket on a 15-yard out to Albert Wilson today that Albert dropped. And he had a beautiful waggle boot strike to Adam Shaheen for that touchdown. So, you know, apparently when he is throwing deep, there's not too much there's not too much problem going on. And I know people are talking today about sorry, just go off topic here. How fast Jalen Waddle was today. And the other thing that was out there today was Hunter Long. Apparently his athleticism just oozes out of him. And yeah, apparently he had a pretty good day quietly too. So I wanted to add that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, why aren't we hearing, you know, their linebackers? This is, and one of them's a miscommunication. Why aren't we hearing about issues about pass breakups or interception on the boundary or deep over the middle? You know what I mean?
That's actually a good sign is what I'm getting at, because again, the biggest thing with Tua, and especially under Chan Gailey's puppeteering in his offense, it was all intermediate and underneath. So now that we're trying to transition into, you know what, let's be an NFL quarterback. Let's make NFL throws. Let's take chunks out of the defense. I'm liking, you know, that there's interceptions being thrown underneath, because in the back of Tua's mind, it's always a kind of affirmation. Stop, you know, Chan Gailey's gone. Let's take more shots now. You know what I mean? Like that's how I'm taking it. And again, for them to end off the practice with that 65-yard touchdown to Albert Wilson, that's just a bonus for me as far as what Tua's mindset is moving forward, bro. He has to, you know, it has to be bombs over Baghdad now, bro.
Yeah, he's I don't know, man. He's I think the kid's gonna light it up, buddy. I got a feeling I've got a feeling it's going down, bro. I mean,
on time in stride.
I truly believe this kid's about to ball out, bro. And I know I've been saying that to nauseum, but like, you know, you want the miscommunications to happen now. You don't want them to happen. You know what I mean? So, and it's day 1, bro. Like, day 8 doesn't even matter, let alone day 1. You know what I mean? Like, this does not matter. Don't talk to me in September. You know what I mean?
And my biggest thing is having these guys learning now, sharpening up now before the joint practices, because I believe those are going to be hell of a measuring tool for not only the offense, obviously, but defensively. If we're talking about taking Xavien out of the main picture, bro, we have to have these joint practices where everybody's participate in everybody's a check in, and let's go ahead and go after these teams, bro. Let's compete.
So let's get to the videos here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just video of to show X. You see X right there in the bottom left, doing his thing. X just doing his thing. There you go. You guys can see him firsthand. X is out there. He's participating. He's being a team player. Did you hear the story? Did you hear the story today that apparently Brian Flores, the first song that was playing when the players came out was "Can't Tell Me Nothing" by Kanye West, and as we all know, one of the first lines in that song is "Wait till I get my money right." So, yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Flores out here playing those games, bro. Like,
oh man!
All right, let's wait till I get my money right. All right, here's a rep on 7-on-7 from Tua, and this is just a nice throw that he makes here to Albert Wilson for everyone to see. Fakes the handoff right to Albert. Boom, right in the gut. He's gone.
I can't even see it, man. I'm tripping.
One more time. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why it's not playing.
Hold
on, let me bring it back.
I'm about to say I done jinxed it, man. My fault.
You did jinx it.
Damn.
I'll bring it back one more time. Be quick on it, Martin. All right.
Read the defense. Make it go.
7-on-7. Boom. So just for people to see, then let's keep it rolling. On that little waggle boot to Shaheen, the clips come out. Here's the clip on that.
Bro, Shaheen's a big dude, bro.
All day, baby. Money in the bank. Shorty looks strong.
That's an interesting throw too, by the way. That's an interesting throw.
Explain.
Like as far as how Tua was clearly on the boot, but throwing a football, it's really about arm angles, right? And vision. It looked like on that one, Tua kind of put a sidearm, almost not necessarily no look, but it was like almost a sidearm. Let me boomerang this ball into Shaheen's chest almost. Yeah. That's pretty difficult. Yeah, I like that.
All right. And then here is another angle of him connecting with Adam Shaheen. Boom, totally different throw. But you see, simple little shotgun. Boom. Drops back and it's out right automatically. Gotta love it, baby. That's my boy. All right, I'm gonna save the best for last. You already knew I was about to do that to y'all. All right, here's a video of Jalen Waddle returning punts. Watch everyone. Watch the little shimmy that he does at the beginning when he catches. Ready? Whoop! Ah, snap!
Bruh.
Ah, snap! Watch the shimmy. Look at this.
Bruh.
Ready? Whoop!
Bruh. I know we shouldn't play him at punt return. I know we shouldn't do it just because.
It's too good, though.
Oh my goodness. I just keep seeing the replays in Alabama of him just making that first guy miss and then finding that crease and then superhuman speeding through a hole. Like, damn.
And then here's Fuller and Jalen Waddle doing some drills.
I hope Fuller's all right, man. I hope it was just nothing but the heat, bro. Because it is hot down here.
So do I.
He played at Houston, but
that ain't Miami hot.
The index down here is a little different. The humidity.
All right. The moment everyone's been waiting for, though, bro. Drum roll, please. All right. This is it.
Oh, man. Come on now. Come on now.
Stop playing with me.
Come on now. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Bruh. And I mean, people aren't really paying attention either, bro. That torque, I think his hip is damn near completed, bro. Like as far as heel, because you talk about putting force into that football.
Oh yeah,
bro. Your hip has to be at a certain level of comfortability and strength for you to just whip that thing out of your arm like that.
Bro, that's a perfect throw, bro.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Lord,
that's a perfect throw. Bro. One more time.
Come on, man.
Woo!
Come on, man.
One more time. All day, baby.
Man,
that's my quarterback.
That's my bottom lip shaker. That's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback right there, man.
All right, guys. So I'll open up the show for only about another 30 minutes, and I got to get out of here. So I'll bring you guys up. You can give your thoughts on, because I know yesterday we didn't have you guys up here to discuss the X stuff. So we can talk the X stuff. We can talk training camp, all that jazz. So I'll drop the link right now. Again, I'm only going to open it up for about a half hour. So we're not doing a 3-hour stream tonight.
Yeah, man.
So there you go.
Man, everybody's paying attention to the football, and how it wasn't like a perfect spiral, or even they said
there was a touch of a wobble, but like not much by any touch.
It wasn't a straight up. It wasn't that. Yeah. It wasn't that. No, it was a Peyton Manning. That was a Peyton Manning-esque spiral to get the ball exactly where it needed to go. But the main thing about that, bro, I love how. I mentioned this backstage one time, that when it comes to the process of before you get your hands on the football as a quarterback, and just as you're about to release the football, you have to go through a process I call CDC, not Center Disease Control, but confidence.
Yeah, I was about to say, Martin.
CDC is confidence, decisiveness, and conviction, right? And let me tell you, all three of those requisites was in that throw right there, man. He confidently whipped the ball out. He was decisive, and there was pure conviction on this ball is getting to that man right there. Man, Tua, give him time. Give him time, people. We got who we got.
He clearly looks significantly. He looks
How do people say that?
Hold on a sec. One at a time. Dylan, go, and then Florida, go.
I was just saying, I mean, it's clear he looks significantly healthier, right? Like, I mean, anybody who was watching him last year and thought that he was 100% is out of my mind. Like, it was obvious, right? And you could tell that he wasn't getting that torque. So, I mean.
Yeah. All right, Florida born, you go.
All I want to say is how anybody can say that was a duck or a wobble. That looked like a freaking Scud missile to Wilson to blow these haters' minds.
Bro, Clump's just trying to call it a duck because he's already in his feelings that I'm about to win our bet over Albert Wilson.
You are, bro. You are.
By the way, Clump, I'm an XL, just so you know. Get that jersey ready, bro.
We all know Clump has Albert Wilson jersey in his closet.
No, I'm starting to believe Clump. Brother, I love you, but maybe wide receiver between Waddle and now Wilson ain't your thing to evaluate, bro.
Oh Lord!
But that was stop because
Clump.
We
Man.
all know
That was a
when
surface-to-air
he
missile,
goes to the
bro.
Dolphins training camp, he gonna get that jersey signed by Albert Wilson. We all know
he's gonna
that.
be wearing his. Who are you kidding? He's gonna be wearing his Kyle Pitts jersey.
Hey,
Too. Bro.
Don't let Waddle go out there and just light this whole season up, and then Kyle Pitts have maybe 500 or 600 yards. Don't let that happen. I hope he might go and win this.
Oh, you know, I'm gonna be on Damien's case about that. We all know how that's gonna turn out.
That's my only concern with them putting him on special teams. I know he's so flashy and it's really intriguing and enticing.
It's tempting.
But I mean, we've seen it in the past. In the preseason on special teams, rookies. It happened with Raekwon McMillan. I steer away from that, man. I just want to leave him in the wide receiver room and let him shine.
I wouldn't mind seeing Lynn Bowden take that.
I mean, you have
Todd.
other players, man, that could do it. Even if you get rid of Grant, you still have players.
Dolphin 82, 2 in ears. You all calm down, man. First day, 1 throw, bro. Has Josh Rosen made that throw? Better. Was Fitzpatrick throwing it 60 yards for a bomb in the end zone? I didn't think so, bro.
You know what? It's hard not to be a two-near when he can do nothing right with all these fans, bro. Like, I've never been an Alabama guy. I hate Alabama. I was with a crazy ex that was an Alabama freak. But all two against his hate, bro. Oh man, she was crazy.
We haven't had a guy that could throw. We haven't had a guy that can throw a ball that far since Chad Henne.
Hey,
reason. Chad Henne. That was not Alabama open, bro. What is that?
What Todd said?
He can't make Alabama. He can't make those throws, bro. He only can make Alabama open throws, bro.
Pete, now I know you're just trolling, bro.
It's not being a two and ear.
Like
everybody brings up everything bad that he does.
How did that not have?
Bring up something good?
Hold on, explain to me how that did not have heat on it. What are you talking about, bro?
The velocity, bro.
Nah, it had legitimate spin.
Pete, I'm starting to think your mom dropped you on. Did the mom or your doctor dropped you on your head as a baby, bro? I don't know what's going on.
He's just mad that Jacoby Brissett threw interceptions. That's all he's mad about.
It's day one of training camp. It's day one actually on the field at training camp. Give him a minute to settle in.
This guy,
shit,
Rosen
right?
would throw that with his eyes closed. The spin would have been perfect.
Oh my god!
Maybe in his backyard, but he couldn't do that on a football field. That's why he's on practice squad.
Yes,
bro. Has no one seen Peyton Manning throw the ball? Like I know. He never had a perfect spiral. It doesn't matter.
Always wobbling.
That's so
Peyton with the strongest arm in the NFL. He was throwing wobbly passes almost every
flow.
Bro, and that's not even, dude. That's not wobble.
No,
it's a slight wobble to that, bro.
It looks nice that
that's insignificant.
It looks nice to have a spiral, but I'm more interested in location and just timing. That's all I need.
That ball wobble when it descended.
He wants to be like a man. When you press the circle button, it's always a tight spiral every time.
You don't even know about Madden, bro.
This ain't a movie, dog. This ain't a movie, dog.
Okay,
you know what aggravates me is everybody wants him to be the next Marino with the way.
No, bro.
No.
My thing is, if that was his release is similar to Marino, but if that was a wobble, then what the hell is this?
That is.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is.
That's a duck getting shot by a BB gun.
Yeah. We still love Tim Tebow, but oh Lord,
bro, I think he was doing skeet football throwing. Like he threw the football and somebody had a 12-gauge shotgun.
Hey, Reason, I hope Plump saw you put that video up.
I did. I sent it to him directly,
bro. But what Todd said about Lynn Bowden returning kicks, man, I might be late, but I had seen a highlight from Bowden in high school, and it was a 109-yard touchdown. Like he had to make so many guys miss, like they were all over him, and then all of a sudden boom, he's gone and takes it all the way to the house. I was like, man, this guy needs to be returning kicks for us.
Pete, I'm not putting up with your crap.
Dude,
Well, Florida Horns, what you were saying, I think that Waddle, we're gonna have to use some special teams.
Go ahead, Josh.
Week
Sorry.
one. Because versus the Patriots, field position will be key and crucial, and we're gonna need Waddle on as many punt returns and kick returns in week one as we possibly can, so we can.
I hear you, Josh. But
Yeah.
and again, scared money don't make no money. So I guess if they want to put him out there early, throw him out there, man.
Fuller's out, Fuller will be out, so you can take Waddle off that later in the season.
But boy, God, it makes me scared.
I mean, it's
seeing DVP, Preston, and Fuller all injured. That damn well makes me scared. We can't, man.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, because if he's your your sixth overall pick, right? Like, if knock on wood, whatever you do, like if he did get because his injury, let's also keep in mind his injury that he did sustain most recently came on special teams, if I'm not mistaken.
Kick return.
Right?
Yep.
If he's kick returning, man, I'm burning all of my possessions. I'm burning them all.
That's look. I get all the reasons why you would want to do it and why maybe you could argue you should do it, but for me, I wouldn't, especially when you have enough players to fill that role.
Yeah, but week one with Fuller being out, isn't Waddle going to get more snaps at receiver?
Well, he's your main slot guy anyways. He's going to be getting. He's not going to be on the boundary. It's going to be Albert Wilson on the boundary probably in Fuller's spot.
Yeah,
that's was going to be my question. Who's
our boundary guys with Williams?
Before we see Wilson.
It's Matt.
No, you will see. They've already talked about it. Yeah, they've already come out and talked about it. Albert Wilson is going to be getting boundary snaps. Waddle's going to be their primary slot guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
But a DVP,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if anything, they're gonna probably revert back to Mike Gesicki back out wide and then throw in Hunter Long as a tight end, just to mix it up a little bit. If we can't have Preston Williams or DVP out there,
that's your X, right? I'm talking about. I'm talking about your Z. Your Z is gonna be Fuller and Wilson.
Hey, Reason. I know it's not a big thing, but what was confusing is I keep hearing DJ Fluker's in the best shape of his life, and he can't pass the damn.
I know
the physical.
Well, it's one thing, but it's one thing to be ripped. It's another thing to be
in shape.
In shape, you know what I mean?
Football shape for football activities.
Yeah.
For NFL activities.
Hey, Reason. Can you guys hear me?
What's up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sadly, yes.
All right.
What's up, Pedro? What's up, Pedro?
I'm actually hoping these reports better be a lie. How true are those tour reports
about
that
what?
he threw wildly inaccurate ball and it hit the ball boy in the face?
That's a fake. It's from a fake account, bro. That's
It's
from
fake.
a fake. That's from a fake 3 yards per carry account. Fans aren't allowed to practice till Saturday.
Exactly, Pete. That should be the red flag right there.
3 yards. It's from a fake 3 yards per carry account. The real 3 yards per carry put them on blast. Yeah.
You should have. That should be the red flag, Pete. There's no fans. There's no fans out there yet.
Honestly, if that was real, I want to see the video, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that'd be amazing.
That's like a comedy reel. That's like a comedy reel kind of thing.
Oh yeah, bro.
Right?
Someone created a fake. By the way, Pete, I unblocked you on Twitter too, so you're winning out here. Someone created a fake Reason account, bro. Like
what? Oh wow!
Like 3 days ago, dude.
Yeah, that's how you know you out here winning.
I made it, boys.
You know you made it. Yep.
I made it.
Bots and fake accounts.
Hey,
bro, they made a fake Reason account and they reported that we traded X.
Oh man!
No. That we traded Tua for Deshaun Watson. My bad.
Hey,
I apologize.
Pete
worse.
Left before I was going to ask him if he was
sure that wasn't
practice.
Pete said he's going to practice, if I remember correctly. On
I would love to see. I would love to see Tua get him in the.
I think he's going to the Atlanta. I think he's going to the Atlanta one. Hey,
if I go to one of the practices, if I go to one of the practices, I'll do some.
You're breaking up, bro. I couldn't hear you. If you go to the practice. Yeah, you're breaking up.
There you
go, Urban B. Reasons boots on the ground.
We only got 20 minutes before I got to get out of here, so I want to hear everyone's thoughts on the whole X stuff.
Man,
goes silent.
Speechless.
I told you, hey, Reason, you already know my stance on it.
Yeah. I'm just wondering who you want to start.
I was raging like $4 million, man. Come on.
Yeah.
When you said that, when you showed us that report, like, because yesterday I had to crack open a beer, man.
I mean,
like, I cracked open a beer right when you broke the news, just out of silence.
It's really
actually, I think here's a beer can right here.
There you go.
Yeah, but what Flores said today was BS, though. You know what I mean?
He was bullshit.
When he said we'll just have to continue conversations, you haven't even had conversations, obviously.
Man. Right?
You're gonna continue them? Come on now.
It's all PR right now, man.
Yeah,
all PR.
All PR.
I've been saying this forever. He just wants to tell you guys what you want to hear.
Yeah, but it's PR, but it's also you're making X more pissed because you're making him look like a liar.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what I mean? That's gonna piss them off even more.
Though, bro. The truth
how
comes
does Ross,
out, especially today?
How does Ross not stop this? Like, how does he not stop this? This is the
third all-point
player.
Hey,
it's my money.
$4 million. Yeah, $4 million.
Hey, he grew a pair when it came to drafting too, and now he needs to grow a pair to keep X.
And
he wants to win.
And the $4 million this year, even though the $12.375 million next year being fully guaranteed, I would still do that one too. The $4 million, he's meeting you like more than halfway, bro.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing.
He's compromising. He's compromising.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
I think X has shown. Go ahead.
And damn, that will help our salary cap too, because even he said that's beneficial to both.
I X has shown he's trying to do the right thing.
This is why I don't like Bill Belichick.
Man, Flores and Greer are starting to act like they've won multiple Super Bowls already, and
I can't
starting to irritate me.
Bill Belichick disciples.
And I'm sorry, I get the restructure to create a little over $4 million. Not a fan of lopping 2 years off Benardrick, McKinney.
No, it's such it's such a terrible thing. I mean, look, I want to say real quick, if I may, look, because
that's fucked up.
I've been right there with you, Reason and Clump, trying to tell people that, this whole X thing was messy, that the Dolphins were not coming to the table, that they're not, doing anything to try and even discuss things. I even said back in 2019 that with the whole, base philosophies that they are undertaking, that they're going to waste Xavien Howard's prime years. And I mean, he's likely to not even be here anymore for the last couple that he has. So, I mean, the writing on the wall has been on the wall with this stuff for a long time. People just got to open their eyes to it, and accept it.
I agree.
What I hate too is these people in the comments. You really think Flores doesn't have a say in who gets a contract and who doesn't?
No,
are you that naive? Explain to me. Explain to me why we have so many former Patriots that have come through in the last 3 years. Explain to me why we're making certain draft picks that reek of Brian. Dude, he said it straight up to Hunter Long.
Yep.
You were the first Eagle I was able to draft. Golden Eagle, whatever the hell the Boston College team. Bro, this guy has more influence on the player personnel than people are giving him credit for. If he went to Greer and said, "Get it done. I need this guy to win," do you all think Greer wouldn't give him the $4 million? Stop it. You're fooling yourself if you think that ain't the case, bro. It goes back to what I said yesterday. Xavien Howard put the first nail in his coffin with Brian Flores when he went on Darius Butler and Antoine Paceas.
Yeah. But look, Brian Flores said it back in 2019 during the tank season that he has a say in every transaction that goes on, right? Like, he said it himself in one of his interviews back then, right? So of course he does. And he's the head coach. Why would he not? Why would he not, right? He's got to coach these players.
But you don't even have to look that far. You can look at what's coming out right now.
No, I know. I'm just saying it goes back to that far, though.
I know. I'm just saying, like, for people who have, short-term memory loss right now, you have to look at like this. You got to look at what's coming out right now when they say, he's insanely controlling and that he wants to have more control and more say in how he's, treating Tua right now. It's like, bro, guys, It's right there. The writing's on the fucking wall.
Have you guys?
He's controlling.
Okay, if that's true, this is the answer's already been. This is true, but also not true if that's the case, because Stephen Ross and Chris Greer wanted Tua. If Stephen Ross is the one who's signing the paycheck, you don't trump Stephen. Like, this is not hard to fathom, people.
That's what's
well reason. This.
Hold on a sec. Do you guys remember what he said about star players not too long ago, a couple years ago?
Yep.
About not really liking star players or whatever.
Okay, I want to remind people what he said about star players. It's a team game. Stars are kind of a me thing. I guess I'm not. It's a team game. There are 11 guys out there, and they have to work together, said Flores, clearly nixing himself from saying he's not a fan of stars. If you have a star that wants to do his own thing, that just doesn't work. I'm of the put the team first mantra, and these so-called stars need to be on that page on this team. Hopefully that answers your question.
And that's another one of those things that I've been telling people about Brian Flores. That's one of those Patriots philosophies that he's brought with him, right? Like, and that's why anybody who had ever said that he's not trying to emulate or replicate what Bill Belichick and the Patriots have done is out of their mind, because in so many different ways, the Patriots players he's brought over, the coaches he's brought over, the base philosophies that he has, it all is Patriots. It's all Patriots. So
that's why I keep telling the people when we was looking for him, I said, listen, I'm going to give him a chance, but I'm scared he's going to wind up being another Bill O'Brien, a Matt Patricia. I felt.
Please don't say that,
bro.
Bill O'Brien was the worst.
Matt Patricia.
At this point, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Well, but he does kind of reflect the same type of nonchalant. Yeah, my quarterback's a superstar, but I don't care. I still have to coach him type of attitude with Tua. Him and Tua. They clearly
we go to
friends.
any sport, hockey, baseball, football, whatever, basketball, especially in basketball. To win championships, you have to be able to handle and maintain superstars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to be able to deal with those alpha personalities.
Exactly.
You can't have a college squad every year, too.
Dude,
you know?
Yes.
And you know what?
Exactly.
You're going to have guys that have egos. Superstars have egos because they realize their stature to the game and in the sport. Dude, saying, just because they're about themselves to an extent doesn't mean they aren't team-oriented.
Nope.
They just want to take care of themselves as well, bro.
Yeah,
guess what? All the jabronis on the second and third string, they're not in the same position to take care of themselves, bro.
But it goes back to what you were. Yeah, but it goes back to what Omar Kelly was saying to you, Reason, on when you interviewed him, is that Flo's biggest problem as a head coach that he needs to learn is that he might have some authority over the younger players, and he might treat the Dolphins like a college-like organization, like a program. His biggest thing is going to be dealing with players who are veterans, and he doesn't.
True.
He doesn't know how to treat them as such. Well, you know what I'm saying? These are not. Because eventually these guys are going to get older. They're going to have an ego, and if they play above their pedigree,
they're going to want. They're going to
have, they're going to want the contracts.
Well, to buttress that, one of the other things Omar said, I don't know if it was with you, but he said it recently, is that he doesn't like having veteran players in there because they know the business.
Right? Exactly.
Because they know the business side of things, and they start to really understand, right? Like, so a lot of people are shitting on Howard for not knowing the details of his very in-depth legal contract when he's not a lawyer, right? But like now he's starting to get it now that he's been here for a while, and that's kind of what Omar was saying is he doesn't like having guys that actually know how the business is done and can start using that against them, if you will, in negotiations. So.
Dude, and Michael Jordan had one of the biggest egos
point.
in this earth, and he won 6 fucking championships, bro. And if he didn't go play baseball, he probably would have won 8 in a row.
I mean, Tom Brady's got a pretty big ego.
Well,
right behind him is
Kobe Bryant.
Even with Bill Belichick, he had to deal with Gronk and Tom Brady. They had egos.
Yeah.
He just say fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swallow my pride.
That's why they
and
butted
beat these
heads a lot.
guys. You know,
Yeah.
you want to win. You gotta keep.
Bro,
But winning
why didn't Kobe and Shaq last that long? Because of
Yeah.
egos. But guess what?
Yeah.
Kobe stuck around and won championships after Shaq, bro.
Yeah.
And he was a RIP. He's one of the best ever, but he had a huge ego. Because that's the thing. When you are a superstar, it comes with the territory, bro.
Yeah.
Like
that's how you sustain
not
your
everyone
your,
is
your
a
edge,
good not everyone is a good Christian humble kid that puts their head down and works, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
good
even that doesn't work with Flo. Look how he is with Tua.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Man.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. This is one of the main things that had me upset. So, people was trying to argue with me. Oh, they signed Jerome Baker before X because X was, asking this outlandish or outrageous type of deal or whatever. And I was trying to tell people X is one of the main people we need to worry about prioritizing first. But Jerome Baker, he can wait later in the season. And people's like, no. Then it comes out that this whole time he's been asking nothing that's not, reasonable. Everything he's asking is reasonable and could have been done, but they signed Jerome Baker ahead of him.
And Jerome Baker's
think
not
that
making
made him matter. Like he said,
exactly.
$4 million, and you signed Jerome Baker.
And Jerome Baker is not an
overinflated contract. Like
Jerome Baker is not a player who's going to give us a top 10 defense.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I was saying.
It was clearly.
He's not going to hurt you with that.
It was
They've been giving him the cold shoulder.
It was clear one of those moves that was a slight diss to X. Hey, fuck you. We're gonna sign this guy.
Seriously, how many corners have they brought in?
A lot.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Just real quick before Logan, because he wants to ask something. Like when you look at the full context of everything that they've done, I get they got to hedge their. But see, that's the thing is the team has hedged their I'm blanking right now. Their investments, right? They brought in a ton of guys. They drafted Noah in the first round. I was going to say overpaid because that's how I feel about Byron Jones. But right,
they did.
But right, so they overpaid for Byron Jones. So like, and at every turn, when you realize that behind the scenes they're just giving him the cold shoulder, you gotta. And then look, I think X actually has, for the most part, he's made a couple mistakes for sure, but for the most part, I think he actually has done the upstanding thing. And the Dolphins have clearly, especially as these reports come out, been just giving him the fucking fuck you the whole time. Excuse my language, but
no, I said it too, so you can say it.
But I'm just saying, right? Like it seems clear.
Yeah. But I just
hold on a sec. Logan, ask your question. I only got 7 minutes. I got to get out of here.
I was just wondering if you guys think like DVP and X would be in a trade package with the Saints, and if they were, could the Saints afford that?
Wow.
The Saints have 11.
DVP is on the pup list, so
they have 11 million in cap right now.
They're saying
so. You add him, that's like 23 million on cap they're taking back. Even if they were to include Cameron Jordan, they would be over the cap.
You don't think DVP would restructure, or they'd make him because he is? Overpaid.
Maybe, but I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I would take the Saints, one of those Saints trades for sure. I've said before over that. I could see maybe, but there's definitely a lot more moving parts in that one.
Right now, though, they lost Thomas for at least the first month of the season, too.
Yeah,
they have nobody at wideout.
Yes,
that's I mean.
I was thinking that.
Give him
I was
Grant.
thinking that DVP and X scenario. To be honest, if you want to swap players for players, DVP and X to the Saints, and I would actually go for Eric McCoy and Marcus Williams at free safety to kind of shore up that last line of defense. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not gonna do Javon Holland like that.
Yeah, but
no. Well, I'm saying for Eric Rowe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Marcus Williams over Eric Rowe.
That's a strong safety. Then we need.
But let me ask you,
and I'll move Javon to strong and put him.
He can't, bro. He doesn't have the body to play in the box at this level.
Hey,
I agree with that.
Hey, Reason. Let me ask you a question though, because when you showed your clips, Javon Holland played outside too. You think they could turn him into a corner?
Yeah, but No. Hold on a sec. He only played minimal snaps on the boundary, bro.
Okay.
He played majority
That's why I was asking you.
either single high or in the slot.
Right. Okay. I was just thinking about that scenario, man. If we're talking about players for players, I would have liked to see that. You know,
trying to get
I
Javon roasted.
honestly think, even though I would definitely agree if you said it was one of the worst trade scenarios out there, but I really think people are sleeping on the possibility of X and Tua being traded to the Texans for Deshaun Watson, barring the illegal stuff, whatever. But that would be the worst in my opinion. But I think people shouldn't discount it. I think there's a very, very real possibility of that happening.
Rhonda, you should still be a mod. Let me check right now. I'm bringing up my YouTube. All right, let's go through. 'Cause I got to get out of here. So let's get. Okay, you are not a mod for some reason. All right, there. I put you back as a moderator. I don't know why you weren't. Because you're a Patreon. Maybe mods are for Patreons. Anyways, all right, let's go through some final thoughts. We'll start at the bottom, work our way up. Irving, go ahead. Irving.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here.
Please don't make all of this goes to all of you. Please, I don't want long-winded final thoughts because I got to get out of here. So, Irving,
it's cool, bro. I'll make it short.
Yeah.
All right.
This goes to everyone, not just you. So
I think,
go ahead.
Yeah. I think we misjudged X before the recent news article about his details about his dilemma with with his contract situation with the Dolphins. I think we misjudged him. I think we spoke too soon. But now that you guys presented the article here, it brings a lot of context. And what X was asking for was reasonable. And I'm very disappointed in the Dolphins for not meeting his obligations, not meeting his demands. I mean, this guy is your star player. He's the best player on your team, the superstar, and you're treating him like this, man. I mean, come on, bro. And he's gonna set a bad precedent to all the teams in the league. So it just gives the Dolphins a bad look, especially the way he came out, on Instagram. So, but all in all, Tua had a rough practice. He had his ups and downs, but I think he's gonna bounce back tomorrow, and he's gonna be much better. Dolphins defense had a great show, so that's all I gotta say. Great show, reason fins up, man.
Josh, your final thoughts.
I'll second what Irving said. Before we just try and make X seem like he's just a selfish player, I think he just had to say that because, I mean, just look how the organization has tried to paint him as the villain or paint other people as the villain. I think he just, wanted to make sure that was clear so people couldn't speak around on his name. But other than that, aside with Tua, I mean, the main thing I just like that, last year it came out in training camp that, when Fitz wasn't there, him and, Josh struggled with communication and stuff with the offense. But I mean, just seeing how he progressed this far, with the leadership and the communication, that's the, key thing for, this whole training camp. So I'm excited for that and fans up.
Pyro, final thoughts.
Well, I'm pretty much agreeing with everybody. How the Dolphins handling their veteran players is just plain disgusting. And the fact that you can't even move over something like what $4 million is that's honestly just freaking sad. And like Josh said, you're setting a bad example for this team and for players, and everybody's looking at you, got a magnifying glass on you right now. It's sad, man, that this team, we always get our hopes up and then it just gets dashed down like this. It's always something with this team,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I'm just glad that Tua, has a proper off season. Fins up.
Logan, your final thoughts, buddy.
If we make a trade, I hope it's with the Saints and not with the Texans because I want to see this. I just want to see our draft pick, man. I want to see Tua go. 2, if Waddle's returning kicks, all of us need to fly down to Miami Field. We're gonna burn our most prized possessions so he doesn't get injured. And 3, fins up.
I feel it.
Todd, your final thoughts.
Hey, can't vilify X, man. The only mistake he's made was bringing up Byron's money. Other than that, he's handled it better than most people would because he had to come out and say something because everybody was throwing him under the bus for wanting a new contract. No choice.
Yep.
Tua just has. He'll be fine. This is the first practice. Most of these receivers, he hasn't worked. He didn't work with Fuller at all. He's just getting back with Waddle, and he's just now working with Wilson. All the other receivers, he can't get a full receiver deck no matter what. They're on PUB now. So, Tua will be fine.
Dylan, your final thoughts.
Yep. Thanks for having me. Of course. I mean, you know how I feel about the X situation. I think it's a disaster. But it is what it is at this point. I agree with what Logan said about, Tua and everything. I want to see them give him a chance, and I'm as long as he is here, he's definitely our quarterback, and I'm glad to see that he looks a lot healthier, and because I think that's really important. And look, training camp is training camp. I don't put too much stock into the interceptions the same way as I don't put too much stock in the touchdowns or anything in between, right? It's contextual data that will be used to help us, evaluate once we get to the preseason and then get to the season. So let's give it some time. Let's see how it plays out. And let's hope that the craziness can just calm the F down, man, because we need to get to some legit football and not the bullshit.
Yeah.
Martin, your final thoughts.
Yes, sir. Reason, appreciate you for having us up again. Another good show, another great show. And again, I'm seconding all of what everyone is saying. Xavien Howard, I'm in his corner. He deserves to be paid. If we can't pay him here, he deserves to be traded to a place where he'll still be in contention, I believe, because he deserves to be a winner in this league. And I believe that we'll get that done within the next week or so. I believe that we're doing really good by Tua with sitting out the players that we sat out today as far as PUP. I think that's strategic, and I hope we respond the way I believe we will respond as an offensive unit and still, move the ball and get used to that. So, hopefully everything continues to grow and get better on a daily basis. So let's keep grinding for the Dolphins, man. Fins up.
Okay, so tomorrow I'll be back at 9:00 because I have to record the finish line, and we'll recap everything here for you guys. And then what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Miami Dolphins. If he only wants $4 million, move from 2024 to 2021, pony the fuck up, okay? Now we're like,
it's a pissing contest now,
dude. That's what we're like. That's it. We're playing a dick measuring contest now, and I'm not ready for this shit. Okay, even him asking for you to guarantee his money in 2022, which is $12.375 million, when you have $68 million cap. The fact that you aren't willing to meet him on either one, especially the $4 million being moved to this year, is absolutely fucking asinine. Okay, I don't want to hear this team player bullshit. I don't want to hear none of that. Okay, because it's not like he's asking for you to rip up the contract and negotiate a total new one. Pony up, pay the $4 million, stop the drama. We do not need this over our head heading into a season where, guess what, regime? You've got the most expectations on the table you've had so far in 3 years. The last thing you need is for people to be looking at each other and saying they won't give him $4 million when he's top 3 in his position in the entire league and the best player on the team. Give me a break. Pay the $4 million so we can all move on with our lives. It's unbelievable right now. Anyways, other than that, stay safe, stay happy, stay blessed. I will see
I'm fucking serious. I want to fucking strangle
I will
these guys,
see
bro.
y'all tomorrow night around 9:00. Fins up all day, every day.
Peace.